And welcome to the Virtual Business Owners Network on Friday, the 19th of July. And I'm delighted to welcome back Pat Guiden, who had an earlier talk there, how to make yourself referable. And this is part two of it, to find your starting point. So let me turn it over to Pat, and off you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Alec, and good morning, everybody. And yeah, just following on from the previous one, there was the 5 steps to referrals, building referrals. Just as a reminder, there was trust, business knowledge, need, solution, and appointment. And to put word of mouth marketing or networking in kind of perspective, at the end of the day, there's really only 4 ways that you can increase your clients, not your business. I mean, you can sell more products to your existing clients, which is a much more cost-effective way than trying to find new ones. But nevertheless, there are really only 4 ways to increase your client base. You can use PR, advertising, word of mouth, or cold calling. Now, starting with the last one first, back in the day, cold calling was all we did, and that was it. Even the companies I worked for, selling equipment, selling machines, or selling services, that's what we did. We just did cold calling. People are divided. People love it. Some people hate it. I mean, for us, at the time, an ad in the Golden Pages was considered quite exotic. There was no money for advertising or no money for PR and so on and so forth. I'm kind of ambivalent about cold calling. I don't love it. I don't hate it. But I think it does work. No question of it. I had a guy here a couple of weeks ago talking to me about Vodafone's offer of broadband. And I've been on a little modem hanging on a string here at the door for years out in the country on 2 meg or 5 meg or whatever I could get. For 40 quid a month, he offered me 400 meg or 500 meg. It was a no-brainer. It was a great deal. The guy was really professional, very proficient at his job. And it was an easy sale. I really enjoyed being sold by somebody who just knocked on the door on the off chance I might be interested. And it was great. They came along, put a pole down near my gate, ran a cable in, put all the gubbins in it outside the wall here, and 0 cost, 40 quid a month. So cold calling works, and it's a good tactic if all else fails. The other ones, of course, PR, advertising. Well, PR pretty much is about paying people to say nice things about you. It does draw attention to you. It's a way of kind of getting noticed. But really, it's probably better to kind of put it together with advertising, because they're pretty much the same thing. And advertising can be anything from a billboard at a football match to radio, TV, or whatever the internet can throw at you. The idea, of course, being that to try and get people's attention. That's at the end of the day what it's all about. It's to try and get people's attention. And of course, it's getting more and more expensive, and more and more difficult to get people's attention. People look at segmenting markets and so on, with deliberate or highly organized target marketing. Problem is, so is everybody else. So there's an old saying about advertising that, half of my advertising budget is a waste of time. The problem is I don't know which half. So for me, finding your starting point in this word of mouth marketing or networking thing, to me, a good place to start is mindset. You hear it all the time. I hate networking. I'm not going back to that place again. It's a waste of bloody time. This and this and this and this and this. Bad language, bad language, bad language. And that mindset is kind of learned from the experience that people have. And it's really hardly surprising, given that people don't have a plan, a system, or a process that can actually help to generate what they go for, which is they're looking for business. And at the same time, what's surprising is people continue to attend networking events. They'll drive all over the country to network events. And it's basically because of FOMO, fear of missing out. If I don't go to that thing down in Carlow or Donegal, the guy I'm looking for to going to give me loads of business might be there, and I'm going to lose out. And it's quite understandable that people would continue to experience the pain of networking and get little from it. But as luck would have it, we have a perfect solution. We have a 2-word solution, which is stop networking. You're probably wasting your time. Now, this doesn't apply to everybody, but for a lot of people, it does apply. So at the end of the day, when you look at word of mouth, and I spoke about the 4 ways to increase your business, word of mouth marketing is probably the most cost-effective way of finding more clients and finding more business. I think most people would agree with that. So a change of mindset might be, a good change of mindset could be that networking is a way, accepting the idea that networking is a way of growing your business through helping other people. If you accept that mindset and your intention is that I'm going to find businesses that I can collaborate with and help them grow, it's different. Your networking now has a purpose. It has a system. At least you've got some kind of an outcome that you're going to work towards. And then all you need now, then from that point, are tactics or ideas or structure and how do I do it? What's the next step? How do I do that? So my particular take on this is that mindset's a good place to start, is to examine what your reaction towards networking word of mouth is at the moment. And the experiences may or may not be any different. That's in the past, you know. The idea is that to change that mindset to something a bit more positive. The problem with word of mouth marketing, networking, whatever, it's slow. It takes time. There's a lot of effort required to build a proper referral network, to find referral sources that are prepared to engage in a reciprocal arrangement where I'll help your business, you help my business, so on and so forth. It takes a lot of time. You're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs to find the people who are willing to engage like that. Yeah, they're out there because people have different kind of buying patterns. And you're looking for a particular kind of person with a particular kind of buying pattern that you'll find is really agreeable to this kind of an arrangement. So that'd be my take on it. So you're going to need some tools and some bits and pieces. So there's three things you're going to need, at least three things you're going to need to get started. One of those would be a well-crafted message delivered to your target market through your referral sources. And on that journey to find good referral sources, you're going to meet all kinds of opinions and beliefs, and you have to navigate that to find the right collaborators. So if you're looking at you know, it's like advertising or PR, you know, writing good copy is like, if you're not good at it, pay an expert. You know, don't try stuff that you think you might be good at, because word of mouth marketing works. The problem is it working in your favor? Because, you know, there's all kinds of numbers and statistics about if you do a bad job or you mess up somehow, so many more people are going to talk about it. And that spreads 2 and 3 levels deep. And it can be, you know, 60, 100 people have heard about that bad experience instead of a good experience. So, you know, screwing up on an advertisement or something like that is not a good idea. It's probably better to hire an expert in to if you're going to go down that road. In terms of creating a powerful message, a well-crafted message delivered to your target market through your referral sources, it's worth spending a lot of time on that. So, you know, you're going to have to sit down and just go, okay, why am I in business? You know, what do I sell? Who are my customers? Who are my existing customers? How well do I compete in the marketplace? You know, what are my competitors up to? You know, am I the cheapest in the business or the most expensive in the business? Am I kind of cost plus business where I'll add a tenner onto the price of the widget and I'll sell that way? You know, whereabouts are you in the marketplace? It's important to understand that, because remember the steps like from the last time. You're going to have to find people who are prepared to engage with you. They're going to be inspired to market your business for you while you're inspired to market their business. You have to train and educate those people and equip them with the right information so they can talk to your target market, which are more than likely in the early stages their clients or their colleagues. So it's worth spending a fair bit of time on this, on figuring out, you know, what does my message look like, and is it consistent across all the places where I'm visible? If it's an advertisement, a business card, on a brochure or whatever, that it's consistent across all those areas. Because at the end of the day, if you find somebody and they're very enthusiastic about creating a collaborative arrangement, you can't expect them to remember a laundry list. Oh, I do this. We take credit cards. I'm open on Thursday, but I close on Saturday afternoon. It's not going to work. They need to have concise, precise messaging that they can convey. Also, it's useful if they have things that they can listen out for. You know, they're in a conversation with somebody and they say, oh my God, it's the end of the year. I'm going to be in trouble with the revenue because I haven't got my books done. You know, and the question would be, well, do you know someone who can solve that problem? Well, if you don't, I know somebody who can solve the problem. Would you like me to make a phone call? It can be as simple as that. So you've got to arm your and train. We use this expression. You've got to become expert yourself. You need to stay accountable to the process, and you have to have your network trained by experts. Well, this is part of that third part, is training your network, is making sure that they're fully equipped with all the bits and pieces that they need to be able to transmit your message. You've heard the old story in the trenches in the First World War, where the guys decided that they have an opportunity to attack the enemy, and they have these runners. There's no telephones or no mobile phones. They're runners to go back and give messages back, and they send a message, say, look, go back to HQ and tell them to send up reinforcements. We're going in advance. And by the time the message is relayed 3 and 4 times, to get the headquarters say, send up reinforcements, we're going to a dance. So it's clearly, it's important that the message is designed in such a way that the other party, your representative, your what they call your unpaid sales force, which is a terrible expression, but your advocates and your promoters, that they're going to have a message that, in their own words, doesn't lose in the translation. That when they're talking to somebody who potentially could be a client for you, the message is conveyed properly and professionally. The other part then would be deliver to your target market through your referral sources. So finding referral sources. I mean, where do you do that? Well, typically, unless you're introduced to somebody or you know somebody really well, you're going to have to go networking. But at least you're going networking with a purpose. You're going to find those categories of businesses that would be complementary to your own. And for example, we talk about the wedding mafia, that the photographer, the caterer, the priest, the organ player, all those people have the same target market, but they're non-competing professions. So that's a good place to start, is that kind of thing, what they call contact spheres. You're more likely to find people in there. And the kind of, so how do you identify the kind of people that you'd like to have in your network? Well, you can find out what are their interests? What are they good at? Where do they network? Are they belong to any other networks? What success stories have they had? What are their ambitions? Where are they in their business? How long have they been in business? What have they achieved so far? And things like that. So just to summarize there, I believe mindset's the best place to start. That networking is actually, at the end of the day, for me, it's a phenomenal process where, to hand somebody a referral that absolutely rocks their business. It's the most rewarding and fulfilling thing you can imagine that I've ever achieved. It's amazing just to be able to hand someone a referral and they absolutely glow with excitement, and you've really enhanced and leveled up their business. And of course, it's nice when you get stuff back. So, excuse me. Yeah, so the 3 elements to that mindset, 4 elements. Mindset, first of all, examine what your reaction, your feelings are about networking, about word-of-mouth marketing. Have some kind of a structure and a plan. You're going to have to meet people, find the right kind of client, right kind of candidate, and they've got to understand your target market. Who exactly are you looking for? Why do people buy from you? What is it that you sell? How do you compete? What is your USP? What's your unique? What's better about you than the competitor? There's thousands of accountants, thousands of life and pension guys, thousands of plumbers, whatever. So what is it that differentiates you from the other people? Why should I bother? And how am I going to remember what it is that you're looking for? So the message's got to be well crafted, concise, and inspirational. So I hope that was useful. Anybody got any questions?